Amen. Everyone, remember to give the dishes. Right to the question, who show you to the side of an imitator. Never duplicate a successfully sin. We're gonna go over the Elimination Chamber. It was in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and man, I gotta tell you, I said it last week with the Chamber. It's basically almost kind of like the pay-per-view, the one pay-per-view that suffers from like middle child syndrome because it's sandwiched right in between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, and it's normally just like forget about it one, something to tie in loose ends. To build for loose end stories for Mania. But holy fuck! This was hands down probably one of the best Chamber pay-per-views I have seen in quite a few years. Yeah. So with that said, we're going to get right into it. It started out with the Women's Chamber match, and 6 women fighting in a cage with non-stop mayhem going on. Yep, heart's going now. Stopped for a minute. I'm good now. I'm good. Started out with, it was Asuka, Carmella, Raquel Rodriguez, Nikki Cross, Natayla, and Liv Morgan. So Natayla and Liv started it out, and they did some nice little bit of what you would expect normal ring work, Raquel was the first to come out of her pod, and then it was Nikki, and then Carmella, and it was actually kind of funny because when Carmella came out, because when she first came down to the ring, she was taunting and teasing everyone, saying, yeah, I'm going to be it, very much so healing it up, and I'm going to be it, I'm the all-star, I'm a number one, blah, 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 that kind of horse shit. And then when it was time for her to come out, it was just like, yeah, I'm number one. Oh, fuck, you want to get me, hold it, shunk, and then closed it behind her like, no, screw you guys, I'm not going out there. And yeah, at one point, Nikki Cross, she climbed up to the top of one of the pods and then jumped off to do a big diving crossbody, which made everyone pop because that was the biggest high spot of the match. Speaking of Nikki Cross, she was the first to be eliminated, and then Asuka was the last one to be released shortly after that. And trying to remember now, it was Asuka was the last one out, and then sorry, brain farted for a minute. Asuka was the last one out, and then she made a straight beeline for Carmella, started chasing after her like a bat out of hell, to where Carmella then ran around and then locked herself in another pod, like no, keep her away from me. Almost. I'm just waiting for now. If WWE is doing the spoofs, they're doing the spoofs like they did before the last time WrestleMania went to Hollywood. Personally, what I'd like to see, if they stretch this Carmella Asuka thing, take a page out of Aliens and just have Carmella play the role of Ripley, just like, and then Asuka just creep over like, with the black ooze pouring out of her and shit. I gotta visualize in my head. I'm just thinking that out loud. I think that'd be fucking cool. Now, Liv Morgan and Natayla wound up being taken out systematically, one right after another. And folks, I'm not even gonna lie. When Liv Morgan got eliminated, I busted out laughing, and part of me felt a very odd sense of joy. I am a sick and evil twisted fuck. It is not because I wish wrong on Liv Morgan. No. I am a huge fan of hers. However, it's the angry Liv Morgan fangirls that I despise, and Them getting mad at the fact that she got eliminated brought a very comforting sense of joy to my cold, black, evil heart. Yeah. So then, on how it came to be with the end, it was Carmella and Asuka wound up double teaming to take out Raquel. Super kick, high roundhouse kick, super kick, roundhouse kick, super kick, roundhouse kick, and then eventually Shining Wizard, 1, 2, 3, taken out. And then it was down to Carmella and Asuka. Them two had a decent match going back and forth in it. And then it came to an end when Asuka, she countered a schoolboy and turned it into the Rings of Saturn submission. So your winner is Asuka, who is now going to challenge Bianca Belair at WrestleMania for the Raw Women's title. And Asuka is now officially in the history books again, being the first woman to win the Elimination Chamber, Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, as well as being a Grand Slam champion. Yeah. But oh no. Everyone wants to, the Smarky McSmarketons want to say, oh, they don't use her right, you know? They don't put her on all the time, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. No, dude, no. Yeah, seriously, come on now. Either way, speaking of Carmella and Asuka, on Raw, they had Carmella do an interview where she was talking about on how she didn't like on how she lost, and then they showed her having a conversation with Adam Pearce, asking if she could have a match with Asuka next week. So next week we're going to get a match between them two. Next up we got Bobby Lashley going against Brock Lesnar. And, well, you want to talk about... Now, yes, I'm going to steal the line from Big E. You can have your 5-star Tokyo Dome matches. You can have your 60-minute Broadways. But what we are about to have right here, what we're going to get is two big old meaty men having meat, slapping meat kind of action. Then this is exactly what it was. It was two big meaty men having meat slapping meat kind of action. Right at the start, Brock, he goes straight up postal on Bobby right at the start. And both guys hitting each other with everything they got at the start of it. It was like, it was just sheer force and power right at the start. Like, whoa. And then as it went on, like they were hitting each other with their finishers, but it wasn't like, oh yeah, boom, I hit it. And then kick out. Okay, well, boom, I hit it again. No, it was hit it, and then they try to do power moves to help wear them down, and then they go for a cover, and then they try to do their finisher again. Then the other guy hits their finisher, and then rinse and repeat. And then it went like that for a minute. Match came to an end when Bobby eventually he got the hurt lock in on Brock, and as Brock, he's like wincing, fighting, he boom goes and does a mule kick, hits Bobby right in the nuts. Ref calls for a bell, DQ finish. Afterwards, Brock Lesnar then destroys the referees and officials all around him. Monday night on Raw, MVP calls Brock out saying he's a coward for the way he ended the match, and then introduces the big man, Omos, and says Omos officially issues a challenge for Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. We await to hear your answer next week. Some people are saying, oh, well, Brock Lesnar versus Omos, oh, this is going to be shit. Some people are being skeptical, saying, oh, well, hey, let's see. Some are, personally, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt because it's WrestleMania season and quite possibly anything and everything could lead to a story down the road for anything else. Like a what-if scenario, a what-if. Brock Lesnar comes out to answer Omos' challenge, goes and beats the holy hell out of Omos, which then brings out Shelton and Cedric to help MVP, which then Brock beats them up, which then makes Bobby Lashley come back out, which then makes a WrestleMania rematch for them. Just saying. Just saying. Yeah. So with that said, next matchup we got mixed tag action. Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. Whoo, oh boy. Along with Dominik. Going against Edge and Beth Phoenix and whoo. God. Whew. Yeah. Okay, so Edge and Finn, they started out the match, nice little fun pace back and forth for a minute. But when Beth and Rhea got in the ring, man, when them two collided, man, it was a big money thud. They were making big money thuds and big money bumps, just like, if we can get them two one-on-one on a big show, holy fuck. Those were that. Yeah, it was. They were making big money bumps on when Rhea and Beth were in. It was just whoa. And now Rhea, she started to lead the pace as the match went on. When Edge got a hot tag in, he started working, cleaning up, taking care of Finn. He actually chased Dominik away from the ring, but Dom eventually came on back. And yeah. But the main story in this match was hands down Rhea and Beth. I can't get over that. I'm just like still focused on that. Like, wow, it was just so damn good. It was that damn good. And match came to an end when Beth took out Rhea on the outside. Finn winds up getting speared by Edge, and then they throw Finn up against the ropes, and then they hit a shatter machine on him. They hit a shatter machine on Finn Balor, 1, 2, 3. Thus, let's start the speculation. Oh, they did the shatter machine, or big rig, as they call it on Dynamite. Oh, that must mean FTR is returning, blah, 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 blah. Oh, God. So by that argument, anytime Miz does a DDT or Dolph Ziggler does a DDT, that must mean Jake Roberts is going to be coming back then, right? Ugh. Anyways, on Raw they had, well, actually not, before I get to Raw, take a step backwards. After the pay-per-view, showing my old age, still calling it a pay-per-view instead of a premium live event. After the pay-per-view, they did a press conference where Edge accepted an open challenge for the U.S. title, which we'll get to in a moment. And during the match, Finn Balor came out, attacked Edge, which thus gave the U.S. champ, who I'm not naming, the decisive advantage to win. Thus, afterwards, then Finn proceeded to beat the shit out of Edge, and then that's on how Raw ended. So, chances are we're getting Edge versus Finn Balor at WrestleMania, which I'm all for. And yeah, some people want to say that, they're wasting Finn, having him be like this kind of heel, compared to what he was in Bullet Club and blah, blah, blah. Dude, no. No. Listen, what he did as a bad guy in Bullet Club was fucking cool. But dude, this is like a whole other layer. This is like a whole different kind of persona. Again, and I cannot stress this enough, range. You want to be as a character, you want to have range. You don't want to just be a hard gun-ho badass. You don't want to just be a comedy goof. Be able to go and show 1,000 different emotions. And again, the most picture perfect fucking example of that, hands down, Kurt fucking Angle. The guy could go from being a hardcore wrestling badass on Monday to being a comedy goof on Friday to being a fucking, to being a jokester, to being a wrestling machine on Sunday. And then rinse and repeat and change up a whole different kind of persona. Range. That's the name of the game. That's the word of the day, folks. Have range. Next up, we got the men's Elimination Chamber match for the coveted United States Championship. It was Austin Theory, Montez Ford, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Johnny Gargano, and Seth Elizabeth Rollins, because his middle name is not frickin', it's Elizabeth. So Johnny and Seth started out the show, or started out the chamber. Hell of a good start. Really dug the way them two started out. Now, Theory, he was the first out of the pod, and Theory, he was the first out on the pot. He was first out, and then he literally got rolled on by Johnny and Seth. Like, they double teamed him, and then when Theory tried to go and hide back in his pod, he locked it and then was teasing Johnny like, "Heh heh heh, I'm in here, you can't get me." And Johnny's just like, yeah, I can't, but behind you. Like, wait, what? Turns around and sees Seth. Hi. Wham! And then he proceeds to start beating the crap out of him. Opens up the door to let Johnny in, and then they start doing a 2-on-1 beatdown on his ass. Yeah. Priest was out next, which then wound up leveling the playing field. He cleared the battlefield pretty much right out the gate, doing speed and power game. Reed then came out, and Bronson Reed, man, you want to... If Priest cleared the battlefield, Bronson Reed fucking decimated it, because the big thick boy, yeah. Reed wound up, and Reed wound up coming out, and then Montez Ford was the last one out, and Montez Ford fucking performed. He fucking, I bring this up every now and then. Sometimes, you'll see a talent get a match where you look at them like, alright, this is a made guy now. This person's made. They just earned their stripes, so to say. Fucking, if nobody thought Ford was made before, this match, in my eyes, fucking made Ford. Because he fucking delivered and then some. At one point, literally, climbing on the cage, up onto the ceiling like fucking Spider-Man, and then dropping down to go and do a splash onto everyone. Like, woo. Last time I saw that was when they did the Tag Team Elimination Chamber, and Lance Dorado wound up doing that. I was fucking nuts. Like, now Bronson Reed, he was the first one out. Took 4 of the guys to go and team up to knock his ass down. Johnny was then taken out. Now they said storyline wise, Johnny was banged up really bad. That's why he wasn't on Raw on Monday. So they said, and they did an interview with Candice LeRae. They said that he should be back relatively soon. Priest wound up getting taken out, and then Ford wound up getting taken out at one point. He wound up going to do a splash. Theory popped his knees up, got him pretty bad. This is all storyline, kayfabe. He had to get taken out. And they had to go and they had to bring medics out for him. Open up the cage door. So while it's down to Seth and Theory at the end, Seth, he looks like he's lining it up. He's getting it ready for the finish. And then out comes the walking douche nozzle, Logan Paul. Jumps over the road, hits him with a lariat, and then does a curb stomp to him, which then gives Theory the chance to go and hit the A-Town down on him afterwards. And yeah, 1, 2, 3. So your winner and still United States Champion, Austin Theory. Not disappointed at Theory won, Just really don't like the fact that they had that walking douche nozzle Logan Paul on. Ugh. So yeah, we're going to get Seth versus him at Mania, and honestly, it's going to be hard to not cheer for Seth because he's making so many valid arguments, saying the guy's not here for the love of the business like we are. He's here to get some clout, to get some notoriety, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. He's not in it like we are. He's just in it for the money, you know. He wants to go get the money, get a paycheck, get some nice cars, get some chicks, go get laid, that kind of shit. Just, nah, fuck that. Yeah, fuck him. So, with that said, now we come to main event of the night. Roman Reigns versus Montreal's own Sami Zayn. And holy shit, did Sami get one hell of a pop from the crowd. Oh, they absolutely loved it. Excuse me. And man, it was just so great. And and there was a serious epic stare down at the start, and it was just woo, woo. And like you didn't see it on Sami's face. You didn't see it on Sami's face. He didn't look like he was nervous or nothing. He looked like calm as a surgeon. Just like, but man, I'm just thinking, that dude had to be like fucking sweating bullets. Fucking sweating bullets and puking his guts up. Biggest main event, biggest match during his time in WWE to this day, in his hometown crowd, with everyone literally behind him. Yeah, I don't see, yeah. But as far as the match, after the stare down and all that, Roman just started beating the holy hell out of Sami. To the point, and at one point, doing it in front of Sami's wife and his kids, and you could even hear her yelling at him. Why are you doing this to him like this? Why are you doing it? All he ever did was love you. Just like, oh, she getting involved. She getting involved. She not just sitting there doing a, oh no, kind of BS. Like, no, she's straight up yelling at him on it. Now, obviously, she's not going to go and try and throw hands at him, but either way, now, and then when Sami started fighting back, he was fighting from the ground up. Like, not like he was literally fighting from the ground, building his way back up. And at one point, we had a ref bump. Sami wound up having a 3 count when that happened. And then Jimmy Uso came down, ran interference, took Sami out, and then another ref came down. 1, 2, kick out. Oh! And man, the false finishes were fucking on time. Normally, you know, you'll see some matches overdo it with false finishes. But man, this one, it was just like every false finish, it was like, oh, whoa. That one could have been it. It was just so good. And then the second ref bump occurred. And when that happened, then Jey Uso showed up. And everyone was just like, oh, the plot thickens. And then Roman, while the ref's down, Roman gets the chair, gives it to Jey. He's like, you do it. Show me where you lie. Show me where your loyalty is. You do it. And then Jey, he's just like, I'm not doing this, man. I'm out. And then just walks. Like, dude. So, yeah. Now, how the match came to an end, easy for me to say. After Jey walked out, Roman then goes ballistic, cracks the chair across Sami, not for a good bit. KO comes out to, yeah. After he does the chair cracks, then he does a spear, 1, 2, 3. And then Kevin Owens comes out to save Sami from a full-on assault from Roman and Jimmy. And then Paul Heyman, God bless, my savior Paul Heyman, comes over and starts wailing on him like a little toddler trying to stop their dad from doing something. Like, And then Kevin just turns around like, what the fuck did you do? And then Paul, no, I never wanted to do this. I love you. I don't want to do this. And then boom, he stuns him. And yeah. And then the show ends with when Roman, he gets back up on his feet after he got stunned. Sami hits him with the Luva kick one last time, and then the crowd have them going home happy. In that sense. Now the following night on Raw, Sami came out, talked about on how, yeah, he lost, he's taking it with stride, but the big thing he needs to address is the one man who came out to help him, and then he asked for KO to come out. So Owens, he comes out and says, now listen. Now Owens says point blank, now listen. What I did, it wasn't to help you. Because I've been fighting the bloodline by myself for months. And when I was getting my ass beat at the Royal Rumble, you were there and you watched. But my family, my wife, my kids, they were at home watching on TV. I wasn't going to let your wife and your kids see you get your ass beat like that right in front of them. So that's all that was. And then Sami basically going and saying, listen, you're right. The bloodline needs to end. We can end it. So, what do you say? We get back together. We work together again. We work together to do this. And KO, he looks at him and says, Yum, I said this to you back in November. I'm done with you. What I did was for your wife and your kids. You want help taking down the bloodline? Go call your buddy Jimmy. Go call your buddy Jey Uso. And then he walked like, oh. Now I just want you to think about this for a minute. This right here is showing really good continuity because now while I said what I said last week about what I was hoping we see KO and Sami dethrone the Usos at Mania, that still may be a possibility, but for right now it's not. But we're seeing really good continuity, and we're seeing continuity in a way we haven't seen in WWE for quite some time. So, if anything, I don't care if you love WWE, hate WWE, you at least got to appreciate that kind of, the simple little things like that. You know, tip your hat to the man, tip your hat to Triple H for that. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, so, that was pretty much it. So with that said, folks, that is it for this week's show. So please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back watch some of the episodes when you can. Look to me on the Twitter at Tim Vicious. Thank you to my executive producer, Ali Ray Dan, who did provide the music for this week's show. Make sure y'all check it out. It's out there on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, all that good shit. Details are down below. Also, make sure thank you to contributor of the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. They're a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, folks, do not forget to check out these cool-ass guys right on the Twitter. Killer DSD_IV, Diabolica RA, Sergeant Curry Panther, Dust in your face. And folks, after all, make sure you check out whataminute.net. Also for some of his Shrines apparel, help support the show. WrestleMania is coming up, perfect WrestleMania merch. girl. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great and you hate me. Fuck you.